So I wanted us to talk about this crazy job offers. Okay, so my first job was at a hotel. I was a receptionist, and it was in a small, had a pub and then had a small lodging and a hotel also. So I used to take care of the receptionist towards the rooms and so on. Okay, so they happened that I don't know why we collided with the ladies from the club, because they were the ones who were getting the tips. For me, once the client wants to get a room, now that is when they used to come to me. So me, I don't know why we collided with these ladies. And one there is something about when you feel things are not right, even at your workplace, even at your place, even with your people or your friends. So I started 1 week before, I started feeling like I was uneasy even going to that kind of place of work. Okay, but I continued. So there was this evening I went to open up. It was around 6, because I used to go 6 to 6 in the evening. So I went there and then did my cleaning, did my changing the sheets and so on. So after I was done is when the boss calls me, and I had worked there for like a month. Okay, so this month this boss calls me, and then he tells me like, I go home, they will call me, I wait for the call, and then they are going to call me. Okay. So it's funny that you're not getting it. Like when a person tells you to go home and wait for the calls to call, to come back to work, my friend, you are sacked. So me, I went home and I was very mad, because actually the lady who was an accountant, and she was a very good friend of the boss, she was like a schoolmate. I was ahead of her in primary school, and it was an orphanage. So she knew. I was mad because she knew that this boss was already had the idea of sacking me, and she didn't even alert me. So I was kind of furious. Like, me, if I know that you're going to get into trouble with anything, I'll better alert you. So I was mad about that, but it's okay. She got a very, she moved out of that place, and then she got a job with they don't know, Kenya breweries or whatever else, I don't know those ones. So the other time is when I got a job at a bakery. So Mimi, I used to hear of, when you go to a new place, and then there are these people who are given more power than you. There are people who are more friendlier to the boss more than you. And these are the people you need to, respect, nini, they're older than you. So me, here I am thinking, if I was so stupid though. So here I'm thinking, this Mzae, because he's old enough, he's just being so friendly to me, and he's buying me, like, do you want to take soda today? He comes, buys soda. The next day, do you want to take some cakes home? Yeah, he comes, buys the cakes. Me, I was doing sales, so my sales are doing well, and I'm having something. And when, like, you'd come, you'd even joke about it with even my colleague, and then you'd ask me, like, today you're not buying us something, and then you go back to the pocket and then even send us money to our phones. Okay. So after some time, it's when, like, he's asking me, when I go home after job, he's asking me, like, where are you? What are you doing? Me, I tell him, me, I'm home, I'm cooking, or maybe I'm doing this to my son and everything. So he's like, I thought you should come. You would come, and then we have a drink. People I should respect. People even who are not even my age, like, I should see you, and then because they have, a regard for the boss and everything, I should be away from you. Like, I see you as a superior, there is that boundary. So this person keeps on insisting. He insists, but I don't give him. You know why? For me, I might be, how do I term this? There are people that you can mingle with. There are people that you can go out with that you don't feel even guilty about. Those are people who are not your colleagues. Those are people who are not close to anything, people I can go out with, the people I will not have anything afterwards, you know. So I'm very outgoing to such people. But when it comes to attachment with the jobs and so on, I don't work well, because I tend to think that if I'm going to have this kind of relationship, then it has to lead me to somewhere. And if I don't want to entertain you, you shouldn't force things. You shouldn't force me into like acting more like I need you so much and everything, you know. So I felt that thing with these guys was going overboard. And then there was this time that I was supposed to report to work actually at 4 p.m. So I was at the stage, and then this manager was supposed to come pick me up on his way to the job. And then when he came, he had already carried another colleague who is, you know, like close to those, like here is the manager, and then here is the small person. I don't know who he was. And then there was me, who is you know, other colleagues, other workers and so on. So this other person was carried at the front seat where this manager is, and then there is this one. So me, I thought I should come back to the back left. So this manager went all the way, opened his door, came out, and then asked this person to come out and then go to the back seat. Yeah. So this person went to the back seat, and I came here in front. When I came there in front, I had this, you know, this jeans called ragged. It was not that rugged, like it was not that torn, but you could see the skin. So once we reached that place, he was like, you know, touching my thighs and telling me, hey, how are you? So today, where are you going? Because I was doing sales. And where are you going? You know, you look. And then he would dip his fingers and nails and hands into that jeans where they are tones, those holes. He'd like, you know. And then I got uncomfortable. And then the other guy in the back, he's seeing it, and he's doing nothing. So I think he got this other guy, the manager, got a call, and then he went outside. That's when I came out, and then was given my schedule for that day. Like, I don't know why people think that once you're working in a particular place, like you should now be having sex with all of them. So let me ask, if in a company you're having like 10 people who are your superiors, are you going to sleep with all these 10 people to make them satisfied and to read your book so that they don't badmouth you, so that when even you're in trouble they can save you up? Or what happens? And what if, because actually I've never engaged myself into these superior things. Me, if I lose a job, I lose it because maybe I didn't give in, or maybe because there are some other reasons, but I've never given up myself for any senior person. And that is something I would never do. If I have to, whatever whole, like even I have to be loose, I can never be loose with anyone at my job because he's senior, or because I'm expecting some special favors. Actually, there's also a recent one that I was even promised, like this manager would even call me like, hey, come to my office, and then I would go. You know, we need you to be a supervisor in this organization, this company, and so on and so on. So he would like every now and then, he would even call me when I'm home, and I would report to work and then go to his office. I'm mentoring you, I want you to be this and this and this. Now the trickiest part of it was me, I was in for the job. He was in for something I don't know, because I used to keep the charts. And I was waiting for this day that, you know, he would turn his back and then start eating me up from the, you know, roots. And then I showed like we had nothing, and the guy, he was the one who was insisting on this and this and this. And that's how he's, you know, he's mad. Maybe I didn't turn out to be like that. So eventually, when this time of the supervisors came, he picked somebody else totally different from, even he asked me for the papers. I actually took them to him personally. Junita. So I took the papers to him, and I was waiting for those 2 days, and then I hear the HR call me like, Junita, you can come for the interview. Let me tell you, even that shortlisting of that interview, I was not even shortlisted. Like, guys from that company were like wondering, hey, why are Junita, like, we thought you are the supervisor, and we were told, like, rumors has it like you are the supervisor who was coming. So I wasn't chosen, and this guy continued. So me, I actually got it. It was, a bad thing. And then I told him, like, there were many times that I had no fare, and I used to borrow people fare to come and see you because you have called for me and you are senior, and that money I cannot even get it. There are those times I was very mad. Actually, I was very mad because you're wasting my time. It's not that job that you want to give me. You are making me use my resources. Why don't you come out clean and then tell me that you need, instead of taking me rounds and rounds and rounds, and then at the end of the day, it's, what you want. Literally, you're the one who is smart. You know what you want, and you're a man. So eventually he got out, and then before he got out, he started, like, hating on me and everything. So he was like, even like asking me, he would even call me and then ask me, how many warnings do you have, you? And then look at me with bad eyes and everything. So when he eventually came out, he left some bad, a bad poisoning from here and there, from those other guys who were less senior than him, the juniors and everything. It was very hectic for me. And actually, when I tell you it's very hectic, I mean, like, work become very toxic. Work becomes very toxic in a manner, in ways that you cannot go to the HR and report this and this, because he or she is already fed up with their own, shitty things. I don't know. And even if they are fed, okay, they won't listen to you. Okay, that is for one. The second thing that I saw it working was, you are given works in positions that are very difficult for you to leave. Even with the other jobs that I have, come across, you're usually, like, even if maybe it's in a, I don't know, but you're given very difficult chores to work. Because I've ever been a company where I've worked for 1.5 years, and within those days or times that I've ever worked, there is no day I've ever worked in a very difficult place than the one I was put. And then I thought this was way more toxic. Okay, this was way more toxic than what was entailed, and no other female is working that much. The other females were like being favored, and they are seeing like you're being harassed, like everything is being pushed, and then some even would come, those junior people, some of them would feel for you. And then there's a guy who came to me, and then he told me, like, Junita, did they place you here? It was a very difficult position. You I don't know, for 8 hours, for real, for a person who is going to marry a person, and then you're fucking them for the whole night, and then you expect that from another lady, and this other lady, you are doing to them that shit. Some men are just fear men. So this guy comes and tells me, like, Junita, they placed you here. And then I'm like, yeah, but I know. It's not like I don't know. So I wanted him to also know that I know, yeah, you guys are only doing this to make me feel inferior, and I should be on my way out. So I told him, I know what is happening, and very soon I'm going to leave. They're like, you know what I usually say, if a place doesn't work for you at this moment, you aren't born in that place. Like, I was working in a bakery, and I don't think I was born in that bakery. I was born in Nanyuki. I raised myself up like an orphan, and up to now I'm still fighting that, fighting for myself. So I don't think, even if I'm going to lose in a hotel job, I'm going to lose in a bakery, I'm going to lose in my business. I was born there, and then I still have a long way to go and fix up my own things. So some of these job people, and then there are these other people that usually tell on you. I don't know, yani mtu anakuona tu umekaa tu hivi, anakuja na kuongelesha kidogo tu, and then gets a bit of you, what you are feeling or what you are thinking or what, and then they go to the big office and then they say, what, even Junito was telling me blah 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 blah. Oh, so she was telling you that. And she's disturbing, from what they have heard, and then what this other person has come to report now, the backbiting. So this person already thinks that you are a knucklehead, arrogant, nini. They can never save you. So they can never save you. You are at a job that your boss is not your mother, and that place is not your father's place. Okay. So I've ever dealt with the most toxic working places, and sometimes I really